Hello everyone, my name is Moji. You're watching a Bitcoin Bubble News channel. I will make sure that the future of Bitcoin and crypto is made in the US and not sent anywhere else. I will back giving the 50 million crypto holders in the country the right to self-custody. With your vote, I say this. Liz Warren and her thugs will not be able to get to your Bitcoin, and I will never let a central bank make its own digital currency. Thanks for coming back to the channel, Crypto Family. That Donald Trump clip has been going around for a couple of weeks, so I'm sure you've seen it before, especially if you're in the crypto realm. It's great to see that a presidential candidate wants to control Bitcoin in a good way. He wants you to have your own keys and is against Elizabeth Warren working with Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. That's not even the most positive thing about this. Trump now backs Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, and he's going to talk at the Bitcoin conference this coming weekend. That's very important, and I'll explain why. You can see that this is the Bitcoin meeting. This year, it will be held in Nashville, Tennessee. I think you should go if you haven't already. A lot of people are talking about Bitcoin and new ideas for Bitcoin. A lot of people are giving talks. You can see other people who have done this. There is no doubt that Michael Saylor will be there. There will be Robert F. Kennedy, Cathie Wood, and a lot of other people who use Bitcoin. John Snowden. You should check it out if you're nearby. This year, we won't be able to make it. We went last year, it happened in Miami. Very strongly suggested, a really cool meeting. But this is really big because on Saturday, Donald Trump will be speaking there. In 6 days, this could really push the price of Bitcoin up, and here's why. Reports say that Donald Trump might talk about Bitcoin becoming an important currency for the US government. Also, you all know that Bitcoin's price is based on a lot of guesswork. As you can see on predicted.org, Trump is expected to win the presidential race over Kamala Harris, Joe Biden, and any other Democrat who runs against him. It's likely that he will win in the US, which is good for Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. So if we can get Trump to say, hey, let's look into making Bitcoin a strategic reserve asset, or I'll make Bitcoin a strategic reserve asset in the US, that would be great. There is a lot of talk that just him saying that could make the price of Bitcoin go up very quickly in very little time. We also know that the US has Bitcoin already. They have about $13.5 billion in Bitcoin. A lot of people would guess how much money this could bring in. Then think about the other countries that are paying attention to Trump. They might try to do the same thing. It has already been done in El Salvador. Trump is now going to say, hey, we might want to put Bitcoin on our balance sheet for the United States. A lot of other countries will look at the US and think, hey, maybe we should do that too. Trump will say that they'll look into it, which the EU will hear. China is going to look into it, and there will be a lot of countries in Asia. Russia is going to look into it too. It could lead to a race for Bitcoin. A Bitcoin rush might happen, just like the gold rush did. This is especially likely if Trump says something like that this weekend. After that, it's fine if he doesn't say anything like that. The things that Bitcoin does will not change. However, if he does, the price could really go through the roof very quickly because this would be the most important news for Bitcoin possibly ever. This is likely one of the biggest stories that has ever happened in Bitcoin and crypto. We've been covering this story since late 2016, and this is without a doubt the biggest thing we've seen for BTC. Also, if this does happen, Bitcoin could easily go over $10,000 in the next 2 weeks, all the way through August. That's not out of the question, especially if Trump says something like that. Just remember that. Keep an eye on the Bitcoin meeting. I believe it will be live streamed. Watch it on YouTube or a stream that you can find somewhere else. Trump is going to talk on Saturday, so be sure to pay attention. In other news, Boya, a Hong Kong-listed company that is traded on the stock market, buys $100 million worth of Bitcoin for its business treasury. Another business is adding Bitcoin to its books. People all over the world are starting to see how valuable Bitcoin is, which is another good sign. A lot of big institutions and companies are also starting to get it. MicroStrategy has done it in the US. A lot of people no longer even trade in Bitcoin. They are only buying MicroStrategy because it is doing better than Bitcoin, especially when Bitcoin is going up. It's clear that MicroStrategy goes down a lot more when Bitcoin goes down. It goes up 4 to 5 times when Bitcoin goes up 2 times. There are many people who buy MicroStrategy. Some of the companies you see are Boya. The same thing was being done by SMLR in the US. We had Bitcoin Depot not long ago. Square says that some of their money that they make will be put into Bitcoin. Another company is Tesla in the US, which has Bitcoin on their books. It's possible that I missed a few companies, but there are still a lot of them that haven't even touched Bitcoin, mostly big tech companies. That kind of thing hasn't been seen since Apple, Google, and Facebook. It would also be huge if one of those companies said, hey, we're going to add some Bitcoin to our balance sheet. That being said, it's good to see more businesses around the world adding more Bitcoin risk to their balance sheets. A lot of Bitcoin is still being bought every week by spot ETFs. We did more than $1 billion in moves just last week, as you can see. A week before that, we did another $1 billion in flows. There were some sell-offs a few weeks ago, but the direction is now clearly green. It will be very interesting to see how this goes along with the Ethereum ETFs, which are supposed to come out this week. It will be interesting to see if the Ethereum ETFs make the Bitcoin ETFs less popular. Are people even interested in the Ethereum ETFs? It will be interesting to see how everything turns out. So yeah, if you want to check out our Patreon too, remember to do that. The link will be in the box below the comments. We give you ideas for trade. We're going to look at it. We look over portfolios. You can ask those questions straight out. Everything you need to know will be on our Patreon page, but we do have trade ideas. This was one we did not long ago on July 8th. The price of Bitcoin was about 55,000. Since the German government sold all of its Bitcoin, we went long on it, and it turned out to be a very good trade. Bitcoin's price hit an all-time low on July 8th, around $53,000. I bought it around $55,000, and now it's up to $67,000. So we have trade ideas, and you can ask us anything. We're trying to make that a group. Please let us know if you'd like to join that. We try to be as helpful as possible there. So far this year, trading Bitcoin has gone really well for us. If you're interested, feel free to check it out. But that's all I had to say for today's video. I just wanted to give you guys something to think about before next weekend, which could be very important for Bitcoin's price. The price of Bitcoin might go through one of its best weekends ever if Trump says something like that. Most likely, the price won't go down since not many people think Trump will really say that. He said that Bitcoin will be a strategic backup asset for the United States, but I don't think the price has really changed or been priced in yet. Just something to think